My father spent 60 years cutting fish, and he sliced them as quickly as he once claimed he could slice people. As usual, he removed the organs from the dead fish and lined them up on the table. But no one could have predicted what happened next. The organs began to twitch, and the fish came back to life. Thrashing wildly, my father stared at their starving bellies and muttered, "The world has gone mad." Hi, everyone. I'm a science fiction fan, and today I'm introducing a strange and bold zombie film, Blood Quantum. This movie is intense and very graphic. Let's meet Tyler, the police chief of a native Indian reserve. The father I mentioned earlier is his father, after the shocking resurrection of the fish. Father and son decided to handle things the old-fashioned way, burn it all. But just as they prepared to set the fire, strange noises came from the trunk of their car. It was Tyler's dog, who had just died that very day. Somehow it was alive again, frightened and disturbed. Tyler shot it then, with heavy hearts. He and his father burned the dog and the fish, but that was only the beginning. Meanwhile, Tyler's two sons, Keegan and Heaping, were dealing with a drunk man at the police station. He vomited what seemed like food at first, but it quickly turned into blood. When they tried to help him, one of the sons got injured down at the hospital. Tyler's ex-wife, a nurse, sensed something was wrong. All the syringes had been used. People were flooding in, bitten, biting, and bleeding. Just as she said that, the patients in the emergency room started biting again. The more they treated, the more chaos there was. Back at home, Tyler said there was something off about the nanny. When he checked, she was biting a baby who hadn't even finished nursing. He shot late and was bitten on the arm, realizing guns wouldn't help. He beat the nanny's skull with the gun to ensure she was dead. On the way back, Tyler crossed paths with his ex-wife's ambulance after a deadly hospital outbreak. She and others had tried to escape. One corpse in the ambulance had already been shot in the head. Another attacked them and bit Heaping. Thankfully, one teammate sliced its head with a saw. Now the survivors started piecing the puzzle together. The dead, once resurrected, became zombies. Just like the fish, just like the dog, 6 months passed us by. Now Tyler's whole family had been bitten, but strangely, they didn't turn. That's because native Indians in this film are immune to the zombie virus. They built a walled fortress and became the last stronghold against the undead, but they were outnumbered. To deal with the growing hordes, one teammate came up with a clever idea. Lure zombies onto a bridge and run them over with a harvester. It worked, crushing them into saws. They still didn't know the virus's origin, but they learned something. Spring water was safe. Deer meat was edible. Everything else was poisoned out occasionally. The survivors raided towns to rescue more people. One day, Tyler's son Keegan saw 3 white survivors approaching the gate. A man, a woman, and a little girl. Heaping brought them back, but Keegan objected. He believed the shelter should be for Indians only. Heaping, who had a white wife, disagreed. The tension rose. Tyler intervened, saying only healthy survivors would be allowed and no infected. But the girl was clearly sick. Keegan ordered the father to kill her. It was cruel, but in this world necessary. The girl died. Her father later committed suicide, but the woman, she was hiding a bite. She became a ticking time bomb inside the shelter. Meanwhile, Tyler's own health was deteriorating, despite immunity. His body rotted where he was bitten out inside more. Tension brewed. Keegan hated how many white people had joined. Over 100 of them? He believed if they turned, no one could stop it. But Tyler was confident. That night, Keegan met with the infected woman intimately. Later, he screamed she'd bitten off part of him. From now on, he was no longer Keegan, just Jin. He didn't ask for help. Instead, Jin blamed Heaping and launched a plan to kill all the white survivors. He released the infected woman into the crowd. Within hours, the shelter became a slaughterhouse. White survivors died by the dozens. Heaping warned the others. Corpses filled the halls. The shelter fell. Tyler returned home to find his community destroyed. He evacuated the remaining survivors and fought off the undead. He slashed silently, avoiding gunfire to keep more from swarming. They saved who they could and planned to escape by boat, but the dead followed them. Tyler's father stayed behind, sacrificing himself so the others could flee, even in death. He protected them as the film neared its end. Tyler's ex-wife died after giving birth. Heaping was left numb, holding the child. Only a handful of family remain. The story isn't just about zombies. It's about race, identity, and survival. The twist? Only native people are immune. A reference to the blood quantum laws. In America that measure native heritage. But despite the potential, the film's plot often falls apart. Dialogues feel hollow. Twists exist just for shock value. There's blood, there's meaning. But there's also chaos in the end. Blood Quantum tries to tell a powerful story, but it gets lost in its own mess. Thanks for watching. I'm your sci-fi fan. See you next time.